Hi everyone, welcome back in my class. In today's session, we are going to study about digestion and absorption. And here in coming slides, we are going to study about digestive system of human being. So as you know, human being have complex digestive system and it is known as alimentary canal also. So in digestion means when we intake food and it breaks down into simple substances and then our body going to be absorb it. That complete process covered in this chapter, digestion and absorption. Well, food is the substance that gives us energy, that gives us nutritional value. But what we eat is the complex material that cannot digest our body. So our body has a proper system that help to break down the substances, and then finally our body utilize those substances for different purpose, like for making cell, for giving energy, for respiration, for working, for each and everything we need energy. Like if I'll give you one example, each and every automobile need energy, and that energy is fuel in form of petrol, diesel, CNG, right? Same like this, our body also need fuel, and that fuel we got from the food. So now food is important. Food gives us carbohydrate, protein, vitamins, necessary things, right? So now there's a question that if food gives us these nutritional value, so the why person become obese sometime and having problem sometime with the food only. See, this is because of a unbalanced diet. So here is one important point, that is balanced diet. Balanced diet that contain all important uh, nutrient, vitamins, minerals, proteins, that is balanced diet. But see, if I'll give you one example here in balanced diet. Now see, this is a triangle and always we need triangle type of diet. Now you will say, what is triangle diet? Triangle diet, you will see in base proportion is high, but in middle proportion is little bit low, but in top you will see proportion is very less. So according to this, I have divided three group here. This lowest one having highest proportion for breakfast, then lunch, and final one is for dinner. Means dinner time should be always with light diet, okay, not heavy like parathas, okay, I mean oily diet that is having more carbohydrate and fat. So yes, in breakfast you can take ghee, butter, eat these things, but in dinner time you have to take dalia and two bread like this. So we have to keep in our mind three things, and these three things are food accessories and roughage. Food proper means carbohydrate, fat, and protein. Food accessories means inorganic, salt, and vitamins. And roughage is the fiber that help to clean our intestine. So now we understand that food gives us energy, and here as a unit for this energy is known as calories. And here is a calorific value as well for different type of food. Like fat is having high calorific value as comparison to other minerals, vitamins, and proteins. Now this calorific value is like for us heat energy, and this heat energy calorific value is equal to joule as well. Now one calorific value, one calorie, we can say one calorie is equal to 4.184 joule. And one more important thing is here, that is BMR. Now you will say, what is BMR? BMR is basic metabolic rate, or you can say that basal metabolic rate. Each and every person have different metabolic rate. You will say ki ma'am, some person eat a lot but they are lean, they are not fatty, and some eat less but they become fatty more day by day because of basal metabolic rate. If a person is having high basal metabolic rate, then the person is having a ability to digest food faster. Okay, but if a person is low basal metabolic rate, then the person is having low metabolic rate, low digestion power. So it all depend on person to person and on their BMR, basal metabolic rate. See, if a person is doing high exercise, okay, heavy exercise, so the person's basal metabolic rate is around 2500 to 5000 kilocalorie per day, but a normal person is having around 2600 kilocalorie per day. So it depends on your exercise, on your routine as well. Now let's start our main process, that is digestion. Digestive system of human being. As we have discussed, digestion is a complex process in which we eat food, break down that food into the simpler substances, and then finally absorb by our body. This complete process is known as digestion. Okay, now I want to tell you, in digestion there are 5 processes. Okay, so the first process is here, it is mouth. So first process is ingestion, intake of food. Second process is digestion, breakdown of food. Third process is absorption, absorb the simple food, right? Now the fourth one is assimilation. Assimilation means that food gives energy. Okay, and the last one is egestion, means remove the waste material. So these 5 processes we are going to study step by step. Okay, so let's start with the ingestion. So ingestion is the process in which we take food in our mouth and break down with the help of our teeth. And this complete system is also known as alimentary canal. So let's start with our alimentary canal. And alimentary canal, first part is our mouth. When we take food and that food we eat, so the first part is lips, 2 movable lips, that is known as labia also. Now in between there is a narrow space that is known as vestibule. After that, when we enter into our mouth, there is a room, complete room. Okay, side walls, you can say that, present in this room, and that is known as buccal cavity and oral cavity. Now this buccal cavity, oral cavity have palate as well. This roof part, okay, roof part is known as palate. Palate is front part is hard and the inner part is soft. You can touch your tongue and you can feel there are some lines that is known as rug. Rug help to prevent slipping by holding the food during chew. Okay, you can feel it with your tongue. Fine. Now we have two jaws, upper jaw and lower jaw, that help to bear teeth. And you can see the lower jaw is movable but upper one is not movable. And salivary gland, these are present in our buccal cavity, oral cavity. So in buccal cavity we have teeth, tongue, saliva, palate. These are the important part of our buccal cavity. Now let's talk about our teeth. So in human being we have 2 set of teeth. One is the temporary, second one is the permanent. So temporary teeth are deciduous teeth, or you can say that milk teeth. And here is the formula of teeth, 2123 for the permanent and 2102 is for deciduous, or you can say that milk teeth. Now this 2, 1, 2, 3, permanent one. So 2 is incisor, front teeth. Then canine 1, premolar, and then final one is molar. So incisor help to cutting. This is the main function of incisor, that help into the cutting. And in rodents it is completely developed. Like if we'll talk about rat, you can see in rat that help in cutting, okay, that generally cut all the things in the home. Elephant, this is a very important point. Elephant, 2 incisor of upper jaw grow into tusk. Okay, and this is important question, that which type of teeth grow into tusk in elephant. So that is incisor, and that is upper. Okay, upper jaw, 2 incisors. Now canines, that help in tearing. And the one more important point for canine, that having longest root. Okay, so in herbivorous, you know, herbivorous eat grass, so they doesn't need these type of teeth, I mean canines, sharpest one for tearing. So in carnivorous it is fully developed, and they have 2 cusp as well. In fully developed, like example lion, tiger, cat, they are carnivorous, they eat other animals, so they have to tear their food. Now let's talk about premolars. Okay, so premolars are help in grinding, chew. Now premolars are bicuspid as well. What is cusp? Okay, this is an important question. Now what is cusp? So when we talk about teeth, so if the teeth is having like this, okay, so this part one, and this is a second one. These are 2 cusp. This is known, this bulging part, cusp. If teeth is like this, there is no cusp. Okay, so that is cusp, bicuspid. Now last one is molars. Molars are wisdom teeth as well, generally known as wisdom teeth, and इसमें 4 and 5 number of cusp are present in molar teeth, and they are generally used, premolars and molars both are generally used for grinding, crushing teeth. And molars generally come after 18th or age of 18th. Now let's talk about our next part of alimentary canal, that is pharynx. It is a common passage for air. Now pharynx is divided into 3 parts on the basis of their position: nasal pharynx, oral pharynx, and laryngeal pharynx. Nasal pharynx present posterior to the nasal cavity. Definitely it is present nearby nose. Okay, so present posterior to the nasal cavity. Oral means mouth, so extended from the oral cavity till hyoid bone in the throat. Here is the hyoid bone in throat. Here hyoid bone is present. And the last one is laryngeal pharynx. So laryngeal pharynx present from epiglottis to esophagus. Here is epiglottis. This is epiglottis. Now you can see trachea. Trachea is here, and this is known as windpipe, and this pipe is esophagus. This is food pipe. So and this chamber is common for both, that is known as pharynx. Now food passes into esophagus. After pharynx, food passes into esophagus. Like see, this part is pharynx. Now food is passes into this part. This part is known as esophagus, or you can say that gullet or food pipe. Okay, so you can see food is passing like this, and there is a movement in the esophagus like this. You can see when food passes, esophagus shrink, then again expand, then shrink, then expand, and this process is known as peristaltic movement, or you can say that peristalsis. In some book it is peristalsis, or in some peristaltic movement. Now in esophagus, mucus gland is present that release mucus that help in lubrication, passes the food from mouth to stomach, or it is having a tube-like structure. As well as in esophagus, sphincter are present here. What is sphincter? That is like a gate channel that help to backflow of food. Okay, when food passes from this esophagus, this channel close. and it opens up into the stomach. Here you can see it open into the stomach. It prevent entry of air into digestive system as well. Air is not enter just because of this system, esophagus. So it prevent entry of air into digestive system because of the sphincter as well, because sphincter help to block this. Now this is all about esophagus, and the height of this esophagus is around 25 centimeter, and it is present in our thoracic region, that is also known as thorax region. Now let's talk about stomach. Stomach is an important part that store food, and stomach is located behind the diaphragm, and it is present left side, and its capacity is around 1.5 liter, and stomach has ability to expand as well as shrink. When we eat food, that expand, and when food passes from the stomach, it again shrink. Okay, now the stomach is divided into four parts: cardiac, fundic, body, and pyloric. Cardiac, the first part where esophagus opens, that first part is known as cardiac part. Okay, then fundic, and then body, and last one is the pyloric, that opens up into the small intestine. See, if we eat heavy food like fatty food, you can say that fat, okay, that is rich in fat and carbohydrate, so it takes time to digest, around 4 to 5 hours. If we will take light food, then it digests around 2 to 3 hours. Okay, so it depends on the food what we have eat. Okay, if heavy, then it take a lot of time to digest, but if it light food, light meal, that it takes small time, like 2 to 3 hours, 1 hour to digest. Now you can see these are the region in the stomach. This part is fundus, the first part is cardiac, then fundus, this complete part is body, and the last one is the pylorus. Okay, so esophageal part is the non-glandular. Cardiac one, cardiac secrete mucus. Fundic, parietal cell and chief cells are present that release HCl and pepsinogen. Okay, pyloric, that release mucus. Now for stomach mixes the food, okay, as well as release digestive enzyme like HCl that help to kill the microorganism, bacteria, virus present in the food. And inner lining of stomach secrete mucus as well, because that mucus help to protect our stomach from the acid, because that acid is present in our stomach having around 2 to 3 pH, highly acidic. Okay, that highly acidic help to digest our food as well as kill the microbes, foreign microbes that is not good for our body. So this acidic medium help to dissolve food, as well as this acid help to activate some enzymes like pepsin enzyme. Okay, and this HCl is also known as digestive juice. So these are the function of HCl and stomach. Let's talk about small intestine now. Name is small intestine, but it is longest part of our alimentary canal, around 4.5 to 7 meter long. It is present in the coiled form, here you can see, and three parts of small intestine. First one is the duodenum, second one is the jejunum, and last one is the ileum. Three part of small intestine. See, small intestine is like this and having thread-like structure on small intestine, and that is known as villi, and having glandular area that is known as crypts of Leberkuchen that secrete digestive enzyme. So small intestine play important role in absorption, because our food break down and crush with the help of teeth and then mix into the stomach, and finally it's time to absorb food for energy, and that absorption in small intestine. And here villi help to increase the surface area around 10 times. That is the main function of villi. You can see these are villi, and this is villi, brush like, okay, and these are the blood vessels in small intestine, and these blood vessels absorb the food particle and that circulate into the body for energy. Now, large intestine. Large intestine is large because it is the widest part of our alimentary canal, and it is like upside down U shape. And here, this part is large intestine. So you can see upside down U, okay, down U. Fine. So large intestine having large bowel, and it is the last part of gastrointestinal tract of our digestive system. And here you can see colon is present. Here this is ascending colon, okay, this one is descending colon, and this one is transverse colon. And function of colon is now undigested food from small intestine to enter into large intestine. Now this undigested food having some vitamins, proteins, mineral and water. So large intestine absorb water, manufactures vitamin, produce mucus and expel feces. Now mucus help to expel the unwanted material, or you can say that waste material or feces into the rectum. Now here this part is rectum. Rectum is the distal part where undigested food store till the time our brain gives signal to our digestive system that it's time to expel waste material, or our body urge for expelling the waste material. So we can say that this part help to store our waste material for a period of time. And the last part is here anus, that is having anal sphincter. Sphincter, again I'm going to tell you, sphincter is the gate channel, like a help in a opening and closing. So when we have urge of removing the waste material, so that time the sphincter open, anal sphincter open and remove the waste material, and then again our anal sphincter close. So the last part of our digestive system is anus. And one more important thing about these sphincters, that these sphincters are involuntary, okay, they are not working according to will, they are work according to our brain, okay. When we urge something inside our body, that time they work. Otherwise if we want ki yes it's time to open the sphincter, so it doesn't like this, okay. So it work according to our brain signals. So here it is all about our alimentary canal. Hope you like this video. Thank you so much. And if you like this video, kindly like and share, and please subscribe the bell button.